and then I will do the upper part of the body. Okay, thank you for waiting for me to record because I just flew back again from the USA Taekwondo final competition, which is one of the major tournament in USA Taekwondo. In USA Taekwondo, they host US Open with the US team trial, and then national and USA Taekwondo final. So we do have a 4 major tournament every year. You got to do the team trial in the beginning of the years, then you go to US Open, which is an international tournament. Everybody is welcome to join. All different countries are welcome to join, and they're gonna have it in Las Vegas for the next tournament, which is great. Okay, a lot of people loves to come out to Las Vegas. There's so many things to do. And remember, I used to run a school in Las Vegas. I know the area, and definitely you're gonna see me in the Las Vegas US Open Championship. I love to go there. And I have my own students there that I like to see. All right. And also, national championship was completed, and follow up with the last major tournament, which is the final. They call it final championship. That was held in Daytona Beach, Florida. You never know how the weather is gonna change. So weather did change a little bit. We had a storm came in, so the evening flight was delayed, and some people who had a connecting flight has been canceled, but hopefully they went back home safe. Okay, and I came home safe. And thank you everyone. I appreciate. I know I tried really hard because I wanted to finish my under 50 division was last year, 2025, and then I'm moving up to the next division. I really wanted to finish strong, and I did. Thank God. Okay, I did finish strong. I took a team trial, the first one, first place in individual, and I went to Canada Open, US Open. I took a first place in individual, and I went to the national first place, and then the last tournament, the final first place. So all major tournament, including Canada Open, I took the first place. 감사합니다. Thank you, referees. Thank you, my fellow athletes. And thank you to all the coaches who's been watching and also supporting. And referees, thank you so much that I was able to complete my mission. Okay, finish strong for the last year. And moving up to the next year. And I'm changing my white uniform to gold uniform, so I could go for the gold again, the gold medal, okay, the gold top. I want to say gold top, I don't want to say a mustard color or the yellow uniform for the next division. I want to say gold uniform because we're all in the golden age, okay? It's a golden age, guys. Okay, let's have some fun going over our Koryo 품새. Starting with 차렷, 모아 준비. And then the regular 준비 will be the 1 feet apart as the normal 준비 for the lower body, okay? 1 foot apart. You could just say a shoulder length, okay? That would be easy too, okay? The first block, first stance is the back stand with the double knife hand, right? So how do we do this? Remember I told you gotta shift. You're in 50-50 and 나란히 서기. So you need to shift 20% to the back foot. So you could have the nice back stance, correct? And then after that, nice back stand, you need to do double side kick. 거듭lep차기. The first one is little bit above the knee, little bit above the knee. And then second one, then you go for the height. Then you have So this is a difficult kick because you got to kick twice. In a one pivoting motion, you got to kick twice. Yes? Okay. If they're doing double pivoting, is that minor deduction? Yes. If they did stop completely while they're pivoting, if they stop completely while they're pivoting, but if they just went right away, then there's no deduction because they were spinning. It was a little bit slower. You have to do slower pivoting at this time, referee. We cannot do fast pivoting here because we have a double kick. We have two kicks. So we need to do the slow pivoting. Slow pivoting is harder to make right. Okay? So if you're doing slow pivoting, kick twice, and then getting into a front stand, that's great. Awesome. So after that, front stand to back stand. Front stand to back stand, which is front stand. We're gonna step back half of the foot, sliding back, but we're not gonna drag the foot. We're gonna replace. What happens if they drag? It looks like it becomes two motion, right? It becomes because your foot is on the ground. But if you place, then you're gonna quickly get into the back stand position. So replacing practice is must needed for the athletes, and then for the referees, if they're dragging and moving slow, it's a presentation, right? They're moving slow and dragging. Not quick enough to getting into the next position. You know what I mean? Okay, that's how you're supposed to judge. Quickly motion. And then especially when they're turning, the back foot has to land same spot. Ball of the foot, right? They have to spin with the ball of the foot. Spin with the ball of the foot at once. If they pivot, that we see many people here pivot one time, so there is complete pivoting, and then they pivot again. We call that double pivoting. Definitely, okay? So it is hard. Backstand to backstand, what do we have to use? What do we have to watch? Double pivoting and at the same time, losing balance, right? They lost the balance. This is the sitting position, not this way, okay? So you also have to look at the loose balance at this area right here. Then after that, it's the same thing. Then you get into the front stance. Then one more time. Shifting body weight, right? Shifting body weight. And when you're transferring this to the front stand, you gotta watch this back foot right here, guys. Because you're going to see this and this, which is another double pivoting. Yes. So they have to shift their body weights in order to shift it at once. So from the back stand, they're going to have to shift a little bit more and then pivot it at once for the knife and tiger. So when they're done, remember, right before the kick, many students open up, kick, because it's easier, right? It helps higher on the kick too. So if they flinch, that's using a momentum. They're getting an extra help. That's a minor deduction, okay? They could pivot, right? But they cannot make an extra move. Okay, no extra move here, no extra opening. Okay, so make sure they stay and kick in a correct way. So after that, another one, and then key up right here. The next one will be the same kick and a front stand. So over here, now we have a 180-degree turning towards the back. How do we look at this? if you have a front stand here, my back foot needs to go over there on that side, okay? My foot needs to go on the other side, not straight ahead. Not straight ahead, then you're gonna lose balance, right? Okay, so you have to cross diagonal. You gotta place about this much and turn in. Okay? Here is where you need to look. Did they perform a correct front stand, 앞구비? Is that good 앞구비? Is that good 앞구비? Okay, is that good 앞구비? Or did they step too far? Or did they step too narrow? Right? So did they have a nice good 앞구비? Okay, after another kick and a step. Right? And from here, it's a walking stand. Right? It's a walking stand. So we have a front stand. All you have to do is walking stand, moving the front leg, sliding back again. But we're not going to drag. We're going to replace the foot, right? Replace the foot, okay? So you have to look at, are they replacing or they're dragging? If they're dragging, their upper body motion will be shaking. Okay, that's losing balance again. So from here, you're going to spin around, okay? Also, most of the athletes do double pivoting. 1, 2. They're doing double pivoting. Okay? You also have to look at that area for single pivoting. Okay? Single pivoting. Single pivoting into the horse riding stand 주춤서기. Okay? So, watch out for those single pivoting, right? Single pivoting. Okay? Focus is on that foot for referees. And then after that, we're going to cross. We're going to cross. Okay. What do you see over here? We see many of these. Why we have a far distance here? Okay. Why? Because they want to have a bigger step so they could go higher on the kick. Okay. If they put more speed, they could extend their leg higher and quicker. So if you see the person walking that far, that's a minor deduction right there. You cannot. You have to step and lift the back foot. Step and lift the back foot like 앞구와 서기, right? From here, 앞구와 서기 and lift. Then you gotta kick from here. Then you do front stand afterward. Okay? So you have to kind of watch that area. Are they forming the 앞구와 서기 right before the side kick? Or are they just walking in a side kick so they could do the high side kick? Okay. So if they're not forming the 앞구와 서기 there, then you give a minor deduction. After kick. So after kick, landing. You gotta watch the landing. If they don't rechamber, they're gonna have trouble landing. Why? Because if you kick too far, they're gonna land like this, right? If they kick too short, they're gonna land sideways, right? Okay, so you're gonna have to watch, did they actually kick or didn't kick? What are the kick? Okay, is positioning is a kick? That's not a kick. That's putting your foot up there. That's just putting your foot up there. There's no speed, there's no power. Okay? If they want to kick, right? If they want to kick, they have to kick it out. They have to kick it out. They have to kick it out. Okay? They cannot go like that, slow motion. Okay? So please watch that kick. Does it have enough speed? Is it good enough power for me to give a later presentation score? Did they actually kick or not? Okay? So at the front stand, same thing. It's a walking stand. Boom! replacing, replacing, not dragging, right? Okay, and then walking stand. Walking stand, please. This is now walking stand. This is preparing a horse riding stand for the next move. So missing out something there. After the down block, when they do the push down, open knife and block, they normally go like this for the next one, right? Which is, that's a minor deduction right there. If they bend, they have to keep the walking stand. They have to have a good walking stand there. And then they're gonna have to get into the horse riding stand afterward. Okay, that bending knee was the minor deduction again. Okay, so we're at the horse riding stand. Over here, in the horse riding stand, you know the toes has to be 11 looking. Not like this, right? Because they're going that way. You gotta close it, you gotta close it. Okay, so after another one, you're gonna see a lifting back heel right before the kick. You're gonna have to see right before the kick, you're gonna have to see this. And you're not gonna see this going up and down, right? Okay, they're gonna have to stay and do the foot positioning. And then they're gonna kick. Same thing one more time. If they hold, it's a hold. And then when they fire, then you're gonna strike. Okay, they gotta fire, okay? Please focus on their speed of the movement too. When they're going up and down on the side, are they going very slow or are they in good rhythm? Okay? So you also have to keep staring at that speed of the rhythm. Okay? So after the down block, it's a push down one more time, that knee. Okay? Not bending. Make sure you keep it. Make sure you keep it. Okay, and then elbow strike. Right. You're almost done here. Okay, be with me. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share, please. All right. And then elbow strike right here. And then you put it together. Right here. You have to put it together. Foot, hand, together. Okay? But you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. There's no stop point here. You put it together and then you continue move. Okay, I'll show you on the hand technique. So you have a moasogi, right? You have a moasogi, which is we call together stance. And then when you're done here, then you're gonna turn to your left. Turn to your left. Left leg takes off first, right? Left leg takes off first and pivot with the first chop. And then after chop, then down blocking. Then a second chop, right? And down blocking. And a third chop. And down blocking. And then last one, kia. So I was showing you just a little bit of the waist movement for the future video. You have to understand how to move these waists in order to keep your stance strong as well. Okay? You want to keep the strong stance, but you're moving your waist in the wrong way. You're trying to use wrong way. That's difficult. It's not going to happen. You got to use correct way. Okay? You got to set and release correct way. Okay? And you have to twist and release in a correct way. Right, just like the hand technique, you set it wrong for the high block. You set this one like this for the high block, and it's supposed to be this way. That's a wrong set. Same thing on the waistline. You turn wrong direction before you try to use the waist. It's a wrong set motion for the waistline. Okay, so right now we're doing the lower part of the body, upper part of the body. Later on, we're going to do the waistline, the middle part of the body, the waist. How we're going to use this. Your waist, your hips, your chest. I need to go over that in the future too. So, After the last one, you return to bottle stand. After kia, return to bottle stand at one time, right? One time. So if they're not turning at one time, that's a deduction. So if they go like this and then they move the toes over, that's a minor deduction. Please. That's why for all the TA, they tell you, please look until the end when up to show. After paro, show. Okay? They did paro, what if they do show with the wrong foot? That's a major deduction. Yes, correct. It's a major deduction coming with the wrong foot. Before, we have to go back to where we started. Now we don't have to go back to where we started. Then what we're going to do? At least you have to return correctly, right? If you're not returning correctly, what's going on here? That means you're just doing a wrong technique. Okay, now we don't have to go back to where we start. Do your best. Okay, try to get near the area where you started. That doesn't mean you could just end up from the east to the west. You have to end up near the area where you started. Okay, otherwise you're gonna get a deduction. You probably did something wrong if you started here and then you end up over here on the other side, on the west side. You started from the east side. You did something wrong in between there, definitely, right? So we don't want to have that happen. So always think about where you started and then moving your foot into the correct amount, correct size, height, length, width. Everything has to be calculated and put it in your mind. You just have to memorize it, guys. Okay, how do you memorize? Muscle memory. Muscle memory, guys. Muscle memory. Go to your dojang, train with your master and coaches, and you will gain. Every class you break a sweat on the mat, you gain. Thank you, everyone. This is Yankin Dun, so can you?